Hey everybody, Travis Flaherty here. I'm excited to be here with you this evening. Sorry we're starting a couple of minutes late. Had some technological challenges, but we are here and I'm excited to be with my good friend Mr. Curtis Broom. Curtis, how are you?
Hey brother, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. Lots of really good things that are going on, not just around the country, but around the world. And I guess a welcome home is in order for you, huh?
You know, I'll tell you what, it was fun the last today to be able to go drive and actually be in control of your location and be able to read all the signs at the same time.
That is good. So you guys have been on for a couple of days. Are you adjusted to the time schedule yet?
Yeah. You know, I've traveled so much internationally over the years. What I do is I stay up all night the night before, so I'm exhausted on the plane, sleep at what is, you know, the time that you're going to be landing in, and so I really got turned around pretty fast. So it was a great flight. Cathay Pacific didn't get lost on the way from Hong Kong to Chicago, and then just hopped a flight down to Dallas. So all good stuff. But good to be back on the same time zone. You know, I'm so used to it being like 10 o'clock in the morning when you and I are talking my time, and you know, so now it's 9 o'clock in the evening my time, and I'm thinking, okay, so this is what it's really supposed to be like for everybody participating in the call. It's an evening call. So
I got to tell you, Peru was fantastic. It was outstanding. You know, it's interesting what's happening right now, Curtis, because we've got this dynamic where at one point in time, everybody was really concerned about, well, are we still going to be MYNT? And, you know, we don't want to be over here. And all of a sudden, you know, everybody gets access to Jeunesse products and specifically Instantly Ageless. And then everybody's like, I can't wait until we get the products over here. When's this going to come from over here? And what's happening now is it's kind of merging a little bit. It's kind of evolving to people are saying, well, I kind of like this whole MYNT movement that's happening. I like this movement thing that's happening inside of Jeunesse. You know, I kind of am looking at it like it's kind of like YPR at Vima. It's like this new line, this new culture, this new community. Call it what you want. I don't even care anymore, whether it's a company, whether it's a culture, whether it's a community. What's happening is everybody's like, I want to be a part of that inside of Jeunesse. And it's really cool because we're attracting a lot of leaders as a result of this thing that we've created over the last year. So it's been an interesting to watch the evolution of this thing over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, you know, you and I talked about it when it first happened. There was an initial reaction like, oh my gosh, what's happened? But we talked about the fact if you stepped back a moment from a leadership standpoint and you said, okay, what does this really mean? That there can only be upside. Having the brand strength, the story, just the timeliness and the energy and the passion of MYNT, with the great management core there that is still, you know, a part of this and will always be a part of this, with the tremendous strength, muscle, and global expertise of the Jeunesse team, and then the natural things that will happen, and a lot of the stuff that hasn't happened yet. I mean, there are going to be, you know, just technology support things that will again occur. They'll be very subtle and behind the scenes, but they're just going to lend that much more strength to what MYNT has to offer. But now you're right, you've got all this combination, and after the initial shock by some at first, and then, you know, the comments from the side, of those who are, you know, legends in their own mind, and you know, so their prognostication commentary from the sideline, which is based in I can't even think what it could be based in. But then you now watch it settle out, and you realize it really is what you and I first talked about within those first couple of days, and that is, you know, let it settle out. You're going to see some tremendous advantages, some great strength, and it's fun to watch what's happening with the team. And I watched some of the posts and some of the commentary while you were down in Peru, and so there are some great things. There's some tremendous things happening within Team Legacy domestically, but there are some things that are happening internationally, and it's just going to continue to grow. I mean, it's just a great time. Bottom line, what it comes down to is it's about leadership, and at all levels. Even if you're brand new, it's about making a decision to take a leadership mindset, which is get focused. You know, bring it on in, come in tight, pay attention to where you're going, focus on what it is you're trying to accomplish, and don't deviate, and then just drive at it with just a really, you know, this a massive commitment to, to accomplishment. And if those things happen, then the rest of it takes care of itself. And so I guess that's ultimately what it comes down to. The how this affects you is going to be based upon what you do with what you have in front of you. And so I know there are some who kind of got stunned into inactivity, and there are those who, suddenly just grabbed it and ran with it. And that's really what you guys have done as a team. And I think that's why you're attracting what you're attracting. People are beginning to realize, oh my gosh, this was not a negative. It's actually a positive. Holy cow, look at this thing start to even accelerate harder. Gee, I better run really hard to catch up with it. And I think that's going to be beneficial to all those who seize this moment and run with it. We've talked about that in the week since. So it's just playing out the way I think it was inevitably going to. Just some people had to see it to believe it. Others believed it, and that's why they're saying it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So tonight, I wanted to really dive into, we've got a lot of new people that have come on board over the last 60 to 90 days, and it's probably been, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months since we've, maybe even longer, since we've really introduced the concept of the hot market system. Mm-hmm. And what I still see, and we combat on a daily basis, is a lot of new people that come in, and we are introducing the hot market system and the scripts and the philosophy behind it and the getting started trainings, but a lot of people want to skip over that step and ultimately go right to trying to recruit and the recruiting process. And so I thought it would be healthy and just to have a good discussion about really where the hot market system came from and ultimately why that first step is so critical in the overall duplication factor and the daily method of operation and the overall proven plan of success that we have in place. And so do you mind just kind of starting with a little bit of the history of the hot market system and why you guys implemented what you did?
Sure. Here's what it comes down to, is that done properly, network marketing, the reason it is simple doesn't make it easy. It's not easy to be extremely successful, but the reason that extreme success can be very simple is if you allow it. Network marketing done properly falls in perfect alignment with the basic laws of human nature and human behavior. You don't have to take people where they don't want to go. In fact, what you do done properly in network marketing, you actually help people go. You don't fight against the forces, the natural laws of human behavior. If you do that, you will hit a plateau. There's only so far you can push that rope uphill, and eventually gravity just overcomes you. It's the gravitational force. It's the laws of nature that are inviolable, and regardless of whether someone is a child or a massive world champion bodybuilder, if they hold their arm outside, say how long, say forever, at some point everybody's eventually going to collapse. Some may be able to hold it out there longer if they get a little more initial strength, but they're going to lose because gravity will always win. And so here's what it comes down to, that there are certain things that are absolute truths. And in network marketing, the way you succeed is you must build for the person who is brand new with no experience. You can't build for people like you or I who have been in this space for a very long time. And so people like you and I, we would see something like that and say, well, why would I take the time to do that? It's not about you. Network marketing, when you make it about you, you are destined to fail. Because what a mentor of mine a long time ago said, Curtis, what you are personally capable of doing is what will lead to your failure if you attempt to do that publicly or you try to instill that publicly. Instead, what leads to your success is not what you are personally capable of doing. It's what you are able to teach others, 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 to teach the brand newest, least experienced, most incapable to teach others to do. And there are only certain things that you can do that with on a massively large, exponentially duplicating and growing team. And those are only things that naturally align with laws of human behavior. The types of things where there is no education necessary, because as a human being who has achieved the legal age of 18 or 16 or whatever it might be in your country that allows you to enroll in our business model and become a part of our profession, you need no further hands-on, you need no training or coaching whatsoever to go into initial steps of action. And the reason is simply this. When someone first enrolls and they're brand new to this profession, regardless of age, they could have been a very successful stockbroker or financial planner or lawyer or doctor or whatever it may be, and stepping into this profession for the first time, there is that hidden voice inside that says, I wonder if I can do this. That's a natural thing. Inevitably, that always exists, regardless of outwardly how confident and almost cocky, maybe even arrogant they may be. The reality is inside. Anytime any of us does something for the very first time, we always wonder, because there's no such thing as everybody can do everything all the time. And so when people first enroll, they have hope and they have uncertainty. Period. And the role in leadership, and what I mean by leadership is it doesn't mean you've got the big check. It means you already are thinking ahead for those who are brand new. It's the familial role that we've talked about. Everybody who is brand new is like a newborn baby. Everybody is a part of the team already is at a different stage in growth. There are the parents, there are grandparents, there's the children, but they're not a newborn baby. There's the young adults, etc. Everybody's in that growth stage. The purpose of anyone who's been there longer than the newest person is to know where that person is without having to ask, because I already know. I just know based on the laws of human behavior, here's where you are. And when people first enroll, after seeing the wonderful, exciting information, and they saw the videos, they saw a great presentation or a hangout like this, or they were on a conference call or through a call or whatever it is, the truth or the reality is they don't have any confidence. They have total uncertainty as to whether or not they're ultimately really going to be able to do it, and they have hope. Meaning they hope you told the truth. They hope that what you said was accurate. They hope that all those guarantees or all that certainty that you had, this is something that they can do and they can change it. They hope that's the case. They don't have any belief and they don't have any certainty. They're uncertain and hopeful. Your job is you have to build trust. It is critical, because the only way to take someone from brand new, we're in the leadership development business. That's the business we're in. If you want to look at grand possibility, we're not in the, we're not we are not in our products, whatever our products may be. We're not in healthy energy. We're not in instantly ageless. We're not in the core product. That's not the business we're in. Those are the products that drive our business model. They are the products that provide great impact in someone's life personally, and they provide the financial foundation for us to then build this opportunity for people to go in and for those who wish to create great change in their life. What we are in the business of is developing as leadership ourselves and being in the leadership development business, meaning we walk the path and we show, and then through our having walked the path, we are the light that shows the light on the path for others to walk and follow. That's what we do. And so it's very simple. Our role is to know where people are and to help guide them in a way that helps them to be successful without necessarily having to be a college professor about it. I know that when someone gets started, they are hopeful and they are uncertain. I know that I need to turn that into true belief and confidence and trust, because in order for me to lead, you have to trust me. In order for me to be able to lead you on a path, you're going to face things that you're uncertain about, and you have to have this great trust that I'm looking out for you. I've got your back. I'm never going to set you up for failure. I'm always trying to set you up for success. And though you may not believe you can take the next step, I know you can. And why do I know you can? Because I did it, and I know where you are, and I know where I've been there. I know it's possible. And so the key is this: when someone's brand new, you've got to get them into action that creates confidence. In other words, you have to be able to, the single most important thing is you must get somebody into a state of activity that will create such immediate success that it builds confidence. And that success is not about great monetary result. It's about, here's the first step. Take this step, here's the result. They take the step, they get the result. They go, oh my gosh, this is great. I can trust this Travis guy or this Curtis guy or the Summer person or whoever it is. I can trust this person. It's that process of creating that situation and circumstance. The next thing is you need to understand what people are thinking. I've asked forever, what do you think is the greatest desire of someone who is brand new enrolling for the first time? And people say, oh, to make money. And I said, that's not the question I asked, and that's not the right answer. In the following regard, I didn't ask you what they said out loud was their greatest desire. I asked you, what was their greatest desire? That's what they don't say out loud. That's the thing you don't have to ask them about. That's the thing you're supposed to intuitively know. And the number one desire of everyone getting started in network marketing for the very first time has been for eternity and always will be, gee, I wonder if I can get my money back and break even so I don't feel like a complete moron, like an idiot for having done this stupid, silly thing that everybody told me was a stupid, silly thing. But instead, I saw this vision. I got excited. I got overwhelmed emotionally. I probably had a psychotic break when I whipped out my credit card and I started the success pack or whatever it was. Gee, I wonder if I can really do this. Why? Because, again, remember, you know in advance without having to ask that they are hopeful, they are not certain, they are uncertain, they are not confident, there is no trust, they just hope you weren't lying to them. So when you know that those things are the case, and I know that you're saying, oh, I want to make money, I want to make a lot of money, I want to be that big quadruple spinning Starfleet Commander Black Diamond thing. No, they don't. Their number one desire is, can I get my money back so I don't feel like an idiot? When I talk to my buddies, on the weekend, they say, what were you thinking when you did that stupid, psychotic, crazy pyramid stuff? Nobody ever makes any money at that. I can't believe you're going to do that. You got to go after your money back, you moron. Well, how do you protect against that? What if you could put somebody in it? What if there was a way that within 24 to 72 hours with absolutely zero education or training, concentrated training effort whatsoever, coaching, no coaching needed, you can hand somebody a 3x5 card and say, here's something that is so simple, any human being on the planet can do it. In fact, 100% of the people typically who follow the instructions without thought, don't be creative, don't adjust, don't waver, stick to the path, do exactly what this says, 100% of the people, 100% of the time can create a positive result, exactly the result that we outline here. And within 24 to 72 hours, over a 24-hour period to 72-hour period, based upon your schedule, which may be very busy, with a total of maybe 2 to 3 hours of actual focused, concentrated effort, you could get all your money back like that with no training, none whatsoever. And you could have an initial trial consumer base using your products. In fact, if it could potentially be a group of people who in some cases might try to divert you from your path, and instead now they are supporting you in your path. If all that could happen, would that make sense as a good place to start? Which comes back to what we call the hot market system. See, and oftentimes in network marketing, people say, well, you've got the warm market and the cold market. Cold market are the people you have to warm up first, because the only way to ever build a team is prospecting warm market. So I've got those people, make out your memory jogger list, everybody who's ever done anything and interacted with you in any way possible in your life. That's your warm. Well, not really. There are actually two types of people who know you. There's your warm market, meaning they know of you, and there's your hot market. And the definition of hot market is very simple. At 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, if your car broke down on a dark, deserted road, but you still had 1 bar of cell signal, who are all the people in your phone that if you called them, they'd show up? Or if you were sleeping soundly in your bed at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and your phone rang and you answered it, who are those lists of people that no matter what, you would get out of bed and head to that dark, deserted road to go pick them up? That's your hot market. It can be family. It can be those friends who are so close they're like family. Whatever it is, that's your hot market. Those are also the people who don't see you when you make a shift to doing something that is, again, remember, everything we do is for a brand new person who's never done this before. Why do experienced people? Why should they do this instantly? So you don't lie to people. So that you don't lead from conversation, you lead from experience. You lead by action. And so why should everyone participate in a hot market system approach? Everyone, even very experienced people, because it's 1 to 2 hours of effort. Because that way, when you lead, you can lead from a position of saying, here's what I did in 2 hours, and therefore I know you can as well. And so when people go through the hot market system, it's very simple. It's making out a list and contacting people either on the phone, where you have a higher percentage usually of success, or via text, which can happen at such light speed, a lower percentage of success, 40 to 50% success rate, but you can get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 texts out so fast that you can blow through it. It's a very simple conversation. It's, hey, Uncle Travis, listen, this is your nephew Curtis. Do you have a moment? I've just started a home business. I'm not asking you to join it. I'm not even asking you to be a long-term permanent customer of mine, but here's what I could use. I could use your help. I've got a project over the next 30 days that you could really help me with. Over the next 30 days, I need 10, 15 trial consumers, 20 trial consumers of my product who will experience my product as a true consumer. They will buy the product. They will use it exactly as instructed for 30 days and give me that feedback. So at the end of that time frame or that week, take this 6-pack of energy drinks that are healthy and wonderful, but you'll use them and you'll give me that feedback. You'll give me that testimonial. Positive, negative, no matter what, you'll be straight up with me, because from that experience, I can help develop more stronger and more beneficial marketing to be successful. Uncle Travis, here's what it costs: $57 for a case. The value is extraordinary compared to the junk in the store, but the health benefits are extraordinary. But for no other reason than just to help me get started, can I count on you to be one of those 15 or 20? If you break down that conversation, it's less than 60 seconds of conversation if you have to pick up the phone. It's a couple of texts that we have written out in the hot market system. Nobody has to think. There's no training. Here, Travis, new person, read this 3x5 card, grab your phone and start texting as fast as you can. Here's text number 1, here's text number 2, here's what you say in the follow-up phone call to take the order.
Let me ask you a question real quickly. I want to stop you for a moment, because one of the things that comes up is, I had somebody say to me recently, well, I'm more comfortable talking to people that are cold market than people that are in my warm market or hot market. So I'd like you to elaborate a little bit about, if this is obviously a belief issue. It's a what I'm going to think of me issue, but do you mind just touching base on that a little bit?
Well, sure. Here's the thing. It is a belief issue. Mm-hmm. So, because I would ask somebody some simple questions. And first of all, I'd say, I understand and respect that. I understand and respect that that's your perspective. Because someone's perspective is 100% the truth and 100% accurate for them.
Yeah.
But sometimes the best thing we can do as we lead is sometimes ask people to question their own perspectives for just a minute. And I'm not here to shoot somebody down. I'm not here to beat them up, but I want to ask some simple questions. Number one, do you believe in your product and its ability to be of benefit and help to people? Because if you really don't, what you should do right now is please contact the company, terminate your distributorship, ask for a refund, and get your money back. And I'm really not kidding.
Yeah.
If you truly don't believe passionately, if you truly don't believe passionately that this product is of tremendous value to people, why are you wasting yours and my time? Because, see, here's the thing. There are some things that we need to understand. Again, let's go back to the laws of the universe and the laws of human nature. Money is circular. I can make it. I can lose it. That's all right. That's called life. Get up, dust yourself off, put a Band-Aid on the cuts and scrapes, and go out there and make it again. And you can lose it again, but you can always come back. So money's circular. Time is linear. We're all born here. We're all going to die here, and we're somewhere in the middle. And it only goes one direction. Some of us are closer here, some of us are closer here, but the reality is it's only going one direction. And there is nothing more heinous in life than wasting your life, which is by wasting time. So if you don't believe in the product, let's get you out now, because you deserve to have a life of greatness and richness in your life. I don't mean this rich. I mean a rich life. I don't mean about money. I mean just a richly rewarding life. And if you don't believe in this product, get the hell out and let's go find some. Get on your path and go find one you do. If you don't believe in the product, you need to stop now. If you believe in the product, I just defined your hot market as those that you care so much about, you would get out of bed and drive off into the dark, deserted roads in the middle of the night because they need your help, and you wouldn't hesitate to do it. So my question is, I understand in the long term, maybe over time, as you're prospecting, your personal comfort is greater talking to people you don't know. What that's really saying is, since I didn't know you a minute ago and I don't have to know you 5 minutes from now, I don't really care what happens in the exchange because it's about me. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to feel awkward. I don't want to feel stupid. I don't want to look silly because it's about me. Because what's happened is, and they need to go through the other trainings, The truth of network marketing, those who are the greatest and those who are most successful, it's not about you. Get over yourself. It's about them. You're either a servant or you're not. And if you learn to serve others, that's great. So instead, what I would ask them, what I would say to them is this: I'm going to share with you a script that isn't pitching and it's not selling. Because the last thing you should do to people that you're that close to is pitch them and sell them. How disrespectful, and you know what I agree with you. How horrific would it be to have such little respect for a relationship that I view with that kind of depth that I'm going to pitch them and sell them? Instead, I believe so strongly that my product has value, but I'm going to ask you not even to be a customer of the product, because here are some things we need to learn, and these are some of the details that we can get into. Consumer products you don't sell. That's where people have. That's where they make such tremendous mistakes in network marketing. Big dollar items you need to sell. A car needs to be sold. It's a lot of money. It's a big investment, or a big expense rather. Okay, homes need to be sold. Big dollars. Large appliances or big 80-inch flat screen TVs, those need to be sold. An act of selling is something where a very talented person, so you don't feel you're being sold, can establish a connection and a relationship instantaneously, go through a feature benefit conversation, attacking and confessing all of your doubts that he or she knows you're going to have in advance before you even have a chance to have them. So he's handled and addressed all of those so he can lead to and redirect to a decision, close a sale, get your money, and move on to the next person. That's selling, and that's a hugely powerful skill, and people are very highly paid to do that. Most of the world is not capable of selling because they don't feel comfortable at it, they're not trained at it, they're not skilled at it. The last thing you would ever want to do is sell. And why would you ever go sell something that for $57 I get 24 cans of this health drink? Why would I sell that? Consumer products are supposed to be marketed. That's why it's called network marketing. It's called work because you've got to put in the effort, but it's network marketing. Let me tell you what marketing is. Marketing is not selling. Marketing is creating interest. It is called trying. If you go through your home, if you look at the brands that are sitting in your medicine cabinet, or if you look at the brands that are sitting in the kitchen cabinets, you saw some kind of marketing in most cases, whether it was a newspaper ad, television, radio, magazine, something online. You saw a friend next door told you about something. You're walking down the grocery store. It's a pretty color that gets your eye because you're attracted to red. It had red in it. You looked at it. The words were big enough. It said the right things. You said, oh, I think I'll try that. Marketing got that to happen. You whipped out your wallet, you paid for it, you took it home, and you tried it. The experience of the product turned you into a long-term customer or not. This is a natural human behavior. This is how human beings have done it forever and will do it forever. We don't sell consumer products, we market them. And the experience of the product. So here's what a hot market system does. I believe in my product. I'm not going to sell it to you. You are a member of a group of people that are so important to me that I would go the extra mile no matter what. And I want to put you and this product together, but I also want you to know that I would like you to help me because you'll be helping me in doing so. So if I believe that the value of $57 for a case of 24 of these DMV or the Citrus One, if I believe that has value, what is it that would keep you from wanting to offer the opportunity to those you love and care the most to experience that value? And in doing so, when they can truly help you. So let me explain a circumstance to you, Uncle Travis. Let me not pitch you and let me not sell you. So let's review the conversation again real quick. Because here's why they're saying I'm more comfortable talking to my cold market than the people I know. You're thinking it's about you. It's not about you. It's about the relationship. And it's about I am truly coming to you with something of great value that I have great belief in, that at the same time I would truly like your help because because of our relationship, I would expect to get tremendously blunt, direct, brutal feedback, which is what I want. So here's the conversation again. Uncle Travis, Nephew Curtis, do you have a moment? Because I want to respect your time. Great. It'll just be a couple of minutes. I've started a business. I'm not going to pitch you on one of these crazy pyramid things. That's not our relationship. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to beat you up, and I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. I'm not even asking you to be my long-term customer because I'm not here to sell you. I'd have to sell you to make you a customer. I'm not going to do that, Uncle Travis, because I'm your nephew. You're my uncle. We love each other, and I respect our relationship. But here's what I would like you to do. I'd like you to be a part of a group of people who can help me start my business. I have a product that I have great belief in that has great value. I want a group of 15 or 20 people who will try it as a true experience. I can't give it to you because then that wouldn't be the same experience. I want you to buy it like my future consumers will. I want you to use it as they will. I want you to give me your feedback, and I want you to give me your testimonial. I want you to share with me bluntly exactly what it is. At the end of 30 days, if you love it, I'll show you how you can get an even greater value. If you don't, I will never ask you to do it again because I'm not here to sell or pitch. I respect our relationship. But I know that your feedback can help me succeed. And that's what I really want to do. As my uncle, and because of our relationship, would you be willing to try this great value product for 30 days and give me your feedback so that you can help me succeed? Can I count on you? What that last line was done psychologically was to say, Uncle Travis, I've not pitched you, I've not sold you. I presented a scenario. Started a business, here's my circumstance, here's my product, here's its value. I want a special group of people to give me blunt, honest feedback. And at the end of 30 days, if the product has turned you into a consumer, I'll show you how to get great consumer value. If it's not, you never have to do it again. I'm not going to beat you up, I'm not going to twist your arm, I'm not going to tell you how to get into the silly pyramid thing. I'm not going to do that because I respect you too much. Can I count on you? Bottom line, Uncle Travis, I want to know what our relationship is. That's it. That can happen. It is if you wanted to get 20 consumers, we've shown phone calls 60 to 80% will say yes, text 40 to 50% will say yes. If I want 20 people, I go through my phone to find who are the 40 people that I'd get out of bed for or they'd get out of bed for me. If I call them, it's less than 60 seconds and a 15-second answer. And you know something? Make sure you know as you're going in what you're going to say if they do say no because you don't want to jeopardize the relationship. Listen, Uncle Travis, that's fine. If you don't want to be one of that group, that's great. But I could do one last favor real quick. If you can think of anybody who would be willing to be a part of that trial consumer group, I'd really appreciate it. It'd be a great help. Hey, listen, say hi to Aunt Summer for me. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you at the weekend family event. Talk to you later. Don't ruin the relationship. You weren't selling or pitching in the first place. So I come back to the person who says, I only feel comfortable with cold market. This isn't about you. Because if you tell me that you want to build a gigantic organization, you're going to have people who are terrified of cold market because the vast majority of people are terrified of talking to strangers. It takes a very unique individual to be more comfortable cold market than warm. That said, why should you do this? One time. I didn't ask you to do it once a month, once a week, once a year. I asked you to do it one time in your entire career. Take 1 hour. It's a 60-second proposal and a 15-second answer on their part, then set the time to call back if you want. And in 1 hour, you could make 25 calls. You could have 12 to 15 of them say yes. You've moved 12 to 15 cases. Well, you didn't have that many in your initial package. So you've gotten all your money back and even made more sales. And in 1 hour, you now have a personal story of, I know anybody can do this because I did it. The reason you start with hot market is to have the story of validation. You don't stand up in front of people and lie to them and say, oh, it's easy to do, when you never did it. You go do it, and you're doing it not because it's what you are or not comfortable with. You do it so when your organization is growing out and talking to the Aunt Bettys of the world in small town USA who are not cold market comfortable people, but they would be great if they believed in a product and had a simple 3x5 card that said, here's the simple system, and they are able to go in their quilting bee group, get 15 or 20 consumers who try the product and love it because it is a great product. It's the magic of Mint. It's the Mint magic. You guys have great products that if people experience them, they love them. So if you put all this together, the purpose of the hot market is so that I know if a brand new person will do it, their first true step of action will create such a positive result. I have turned hope and uncertainty and fear into belief and confidence and trust. They now trust me. I'm never going to ask them to do that again because they now have a personal success story of how they did a brand new thing they've never done before, this thing called network marketing. And in less than 24 hours with 1 hour of focused effort, maybe 2 at most of focused effort, they started a business, got all their money back, and have created a story they will tell for the rest of their life. Because the only important story to talk to a new prospect about is, here's what we have a system to do that will help you do this one thing that, without saying it out loud, I know in your heart it is your greatest fear and your biggest desire. I hope I can get my money back so I don't feel like an idiot. So if you put all this in perspective, why do you start this way? So that 1, you lead truthfully from the front. 2, I start new people this way because I turn hope and uncertainty and fear into belief and trust and confidence. So that now that they trust me, I can now take them through the next steps that we teach, which is the proper way to prospect, which is not selling, it is conversing, how to have conversations, don't do presentations, etc. The other reason I do that is not because it's about me. I go do it because then I'm leading by example, because I know that the way to become a giant income earner is to have thousands and thousands of people who are at all different levels, many of which are at that very, very small hope, uncertainty, and fear level. And it's for them. This is what they need to do. And how can I be an effective leader if I never did it? You know, I hate those people who talk rather than do. You know, as you know the old saying, your actions are speaking so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. Why don't you be that kind of a leader? Go do. So that's how I'd answer the question. Hopefully that answers a lot of questions for everybody. That's why we installed the system.
Well, and it's perfect. There's so much going on here. I mean, you're building that belief. You're also you're setting it. You now have 20 people that are consuming a high impact product where they're going to have a positive product experience. And also you're in a situation now where we know at a psychological level that people are more willing to agree to do something small before they agree to do something else that's a little bit bigger, that next step, which is when you follow up. And I really, we're running short on time. And so I think that may be a perfect discussion for our next week's our next week's training. But
absolutely,
you know, I think that that's also an area where we see people falling short is they really do go through the effort in the process of launching and getting the product into people's hands, but that following up process is a whole nother, you got to psych yourself up again to follow up now. And so I think that would be a really good conversation for next week. But I love the system. It has proven itself to work. We had a girl, Raquel, who's just, she came into Jason White's business last week. She's doing a phenomenal job. She was a previous distributor in Mary Kay, and she had her way of doing things. We had a discussion about Hot Market, and she said, you know what, Travis, you know, I'm tempted to just pick up the phone and call all of my people up and tell them why they need to get involved in the business, and they probably will. But the reality is they can't do what I do. So I'm going to be teachable. I'm going to be coachable. And this is hard for me, but I'm going to do it. And I don't know, Curtis, if you were watching in Legacy, I know you've been traveling a lot, but over the course of the next 24 hours, I watched her post, okay, moved my first one. That was easy. I just moved my second one, moved my 8th one. And then by the following morning, she was already, okay, just moved my 17th one. And it was so easy for her to do. And anybody that's ever truly gone through that process realizes that it absolutely works, gets your money back, builds confidence, and sets people up to be able to take that next step. It's beautiful.
Here's the thing. You're talking about somebody who's experienced. That's why I love the story.
Yeah.
Because she is the exact example of who all of us in this profession should aspire to be, a servant leader. Because she, you're right, with her level of experience, she could call everybody and start signing them all up as team members. But she's right, they can't do this. They can't do that. They're not at that level. And she now knows that she can take a brand new person and says, follow the path that I have walked. I didn't walk it because I had to. I walked it so that I know you can. And see, that's the example I like to see. It's the experienced person who says, I will step back and do what I don't need to do to go where I'm trying to go, But I know for me to lead you for me to be able to lead you, who is brand new and has never done anything like this before, to where I am, this is a skill you need to have. So I'm going to actually do it. So I'm not talking about it. I experienced it. So I'm coming from experiential knowledge, not intellectual knowledge. I mean, that's just a brilliant, brilliant story. And that's a brilliant example of true servant leadership, where leaders say, I am not too good for this. I'm going to do this myself, because that way no one can ever tell me that it can't be done, because even I did it. And now that I've experienced it, I can say, here's why it's so important for a brand new person to do this. And look at that, what happened in a 24-hour period. And it doesn't take 17 to move that success pack and create the story. She just said, I'm just going to go for it. And that's exactly what should happen. There was a story about, and we told this many times ago, one of the teams we taught this to a long time ago, maybe a year ago, and they had a small skin product. It was about $50, and they had a young college girl during the season of finals. So she was studying, taking tests, part-time job, but what she did was she started texting. She texted so many people that in a 10-day period, at $50 per unit, you're at $57 a case, at $50 a unit, an item, she sold 103 $50 items. She personally, via texting, moved $5,000 of product, and during this 10-day period in finals, she personally enrolled 18 of her sorority or classmate, sisters and friends, because they kept saying, because between everything she was doing and studying testing, she was doing all this texting. I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm making money. Didn't say I was texting, said, I'm making money. She had one girl who said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, here, let me show you. And she said, she grabbed her phone and said, here, let's send a text. Pick somebody there who's really close to you, somebody you really love, they're really close. Said, great. And so she said, here, send this. I typed the text, said, now send it. Said, okay, now copy that text and send it to 10 or 20 more people. Just copy the text, just copy it, then paste send, paste send, paste send. In 20 minutes, the girl says, and then she said, oh, by the way, if they respond, say, sure, how can I help? Because, the first text is very quick. Start a business, would love your help. Hit me back to find out how. She then typed the second text. When the first person responded, typed the second one. Said, now, copy, paste that to everybody who responds. 20 minutes later, the girl got back here and said, no, I've got 8 people. They want what I have. What do I have? I don't have any. What do I have? I said, well, let me show you how to sign up, because now you've already sold all your product.
Yeah.
That's why I love that story. So, yeah, you're right. We've gone long enough, and we'll talk about the other stuff. But those are the stories, and this is why we do it. It's not for you. If you're in a leadership role, it is not for you. If you're a brand new role, it's to get you off on the right foot so that you turn that hope and uncertainty and fear into belief and trust and confidence. But if you're a leader, you're doing it because you're leading. So,
what an outstanding training. Legacy Nation, I'm going to challenge you to be here next week to hear the second part of this training on how to follow up. And I'm also going to challenge you to promote that training heavily. We've got to get some more people on these trainings. These are outstanding trainings, and I'm betting right now that those of you that are watching are saying, man, I wish I had my team on here with me. We're going to make this available for on demand so that the team can come back and take a look at it. Curtis, we appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for showing up for the team. And this is one of the USPs of what we have to offer. We're not just offering phenomenal products here at Mint, now powered by Jeunesse, but we also have some of the best mentorship in the entire industry. And that's, I want to say thank you to you, Curtis, for that.
Hey, brother, love you and Summer and love the whole team. Great to do it. We love doing this. It's just tons of fun. So see you next week. We'll do part number 2, and we'll crank it up and crank it out there for everybody.
All right. Thanks, partner. We'll see you soon.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.